Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends, as this video is brought to you by drroto.com.
Welcome to College Football Saturday morning on drroto.com, your daily prescription for fantasy sports. It is me, Johnny Danger, with my good man, Coach White. Man, we won some money last week. Let's make more this week.
Absolutely, man. Let's get after it. A lot of big totals on this game or this slate, so should be a fun one.
I heard you tore it up last night. What lineups?
I did, and I did it with a quarterback that had minus 40 yards rushing and 4 interceptions. He scored 7 points. So everybody else hit the nuts. Not. But yeah, I had tripled up and won a couple winner-take-all tournaments. Cashed in every lineup I made. So can't beat that.
I love it, man. So let's keep talking about strategy. I told you I'm kind of new to college football last week, and you helped me win, so it did well. But do you go and look at Vegas prop bets? Do you go look at who Vegas thinks is going to be, a 300-yard passer, who Vegas thinks is going to be a double touchdown rusher? Do you take that into effect at all?
I don't personally. I look at game totals, but not player props. If I've watched enough college football, and Vegas knows a lot. I mean, I'm not going to act like I know more than Vegas because they set these totals like right on the number. But me personally, no, I start with the game total, and if I truly think that it's going to shoot out, then I'll just hammer the over on props. If I think Bryce Young is set at 307 at the beginning of the week, and I see that move up to 327. Okay, yeah, and I was already on that game previously, then now Vegas is kind of on the same path, and then I'll be like, yeah, that just kind of makes my point a little bit more evident that I want to play Bryce Young this week.
I like it because part of the problem that I think that people are intimidated about college football is there's just so many games, so many point totals, so many ways you can go. Just trying to find any way to differentiate and trying to sort through it all by trying to take a peek at Vegas.
Sure. And I start my process just on DraftKings looking for 2 mispriced plays every week that I think are just outrageous. And I kind of start my builds from there. And we found a couple already this week, but those players don't have props, unfortunately, which is kind of a good thing because either people do look at Vegas totals or props, then they haven't looked at them on the DFS slate. We might get an ownership edge there.
For sure. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and get right into it. We're going to do what we did last week, man. I'm going to bring up my cash contest first.
All right.
And don't worry about that 93 cents in the corner. Let's just forget about that little guy. And,
That's just because we made a bunch of lines before we got on here, right?
I did. I actually have all my contests pre-registered for the weekend, all the way through Monday night even. So
look at that. You're ready. Yeah. Well prepared.
So try to be well prepared. Also, I won all my money last week on Saturday and lost it all on Sunday. So let's try to do that again. All right. So we're in this cash contest, and then we're going to move over to some GPPs. So where's your safety blankets this week? Where do I start with?
All right. Safety blanket for cash.
All right. Go up and look at these games.
Yeah. Let's start with, if we're going to just make a safe, easy play. I love Sam Hartman at 7,500 for Wake Forest.
All right. Let me find.
He is averaging 22, a little over 22 points per game on DraftKings. And this game against Louisville, Malik Cunningham is priced at 9,500. So he's the type, I mentioned last week in my article that he's the type that would just run the ball in. I mean, he takes control of that entire offense. And I think Wake Forest is going to struggle against a running quarterback. So we haven't seen Hartman throw the entire game. They've just been blowing teams out. Their average win is by 22 points right now. They beat Virginia by 20 last week, Florida State by 21, Norfolk by 28. So Wake Forest hasn't really had to play football in the fourth quarter. So if he has to play all 4 quarters and he's already averaging 22 points, I think 7,500 is a great price for Sam Hartman.
I like that. All right. So we pairing him up with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So the deep play threat, and we might go for him on our GPPs, is going to be A.T. Perry at 6,500. But the safer, more cash play would be at Jakari Roberson at 5,200. So we get a discount. And he's our slot receiver, so he's going to see a lot more of the targets, not necessarily all the deep balls, but he hasn't had a touchdown since week 2, and I think this week he does find the end zone.
I dig it. All right, so are we playing the other side at all in this cash game? Do we need to run it back?
We don't, because like I said, the only way we'd run it back is with Malik Cunningham at 9,500. And I mean, we'd have to super flex him, and that's a high price. If I'm going to pay that price for a quarterback, I'm going to go to the highest total on the slate, which is the Alabama and Ole Miss game, and I would play Matt Corral at 9,200. But we don't need to bring back. Let's just move on from there. Let's start our cash lineups with those two.
All right, I dig it. So let's find some running backs. Let's find some dice.
So let's start with Trayvion Henderson from Ohio State against Rutgers. Last week, we saw them shut down Corum. We had talked about Corum last week. But Haskins was the one that had the 2 touchdowns. So it's not like they didn't run the ball on Rutgers. It's just Corum wasn't the play last week. If you would have played Haskins, you would have been just fine. He had 70 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So you
Corum,
like him?
not so much. He had 16 rushes for 45 yards. So Trayvion Henderson for Ohio State, he's going to be the best running back in the country next season, period. He is an incredible talent. He's actually as good as Bijan Robinson from Texas right now. We just haven't seen him on the field enough. I think he has a chance at 200 yards, 2 touchdowns today.
So this is a kind of guy, you know, you're going to play quite a bit this year because next year his price range is going to be crazy, but he's going to put up some of those great weeks this year before everybody takes notice.
Absolutely. I had written him up at 5,200 2 weeks ago, and he put up a 50 burger. He was actually playing behind Mayan Williams, but Mayan Williams got injured, and I feel like he just stole the job. I mean, you put up 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, you catch a 50-yard screen.
It's yours.
I think you have rights to the job at that point.
All right. Are we going back to our man at Michigan this week? I know he kind of burned us last week.
No, I have no interest in Michigan this week. They're playing against a pretty good run defense. Wisconsin, I mean, you even saw Kyron Williams and Chris Tyree from Notre Dame average 3.2 yards a carry. Neither of them found the end zone. So I'm not touching Michigan this week. That could be a great GPP play, but I just see that game being very slow, and there's way too much value at running back, in my opinion.
I feel that. I just have this like unbelievable fear of flop lag where you were on a guy last week and he blew it and then he blows up the next week.
Yeah. And I have one of those players already. So we have a flop lag play.
All right. I dig it. All right. What else are we looking at here? We need some high totals, right? We need some big wide receiver play. So what are we looking at?
Yeah. Wide receiver. Let's go to the Ole Miss Alabama game. I think at 6,100, we have a very safe play in Jonathan Mingo. What? Oh, my goodness. It says out next to his name. This is news.
It's news.
So he was going to be the highest owned wide receiver on the slate. And I was thinking like 35%. And he had no injury designation before I just seen that out. So we're going to roll on the fly here. We're going to pivot. We're going to pay up then directly to Dontario Drummond for Ole Miss at 7,500. He has been their target hog. I mean, Mingo was the guy I was going for, but you can't go wrong with Drummond. He's averaging 30.5 DraftKings points per game.
It's really hard for me to not start singing "Mingo was his name-o" right now. I just want you to know that.
Man, that's going to change a lot. I need to dive a little bit deeper. We need to find who their tight end and who's going to slot in for him. That's awesome. Well, we can stay on that game because that is a 79.5 point total. I don't know if you've seen that, so it's an outrageous number.
That's insane.
Yeah, that game is set to explode. So now we have value at 4,800 in Braylon Sanders, which is going to be the number 2 option in that offense now.
All right, so now you've double stacked 2 wide receivers. Does that put Ole Miss's quarterback in play in our super flex?
It does if we can throw him in. Let's see what that gives us. Because absolutely, yeah. I mean, if we can make that work, let's.
I mean, it's expensive.
It is.
It's expensive.
It is.
So that's going to leave us 46 a piece for 2 more players. I feel like that's doable.
I think it is too, because I have a running back play that I love, and he is only 4,400. So let's hit up Jamari Small for Tennessee Volunteers, representing my school.
All right.
4,400. He was the starter at the beginning of the year. He saw 22 points in his first outing, got injured. Last week, he only played 11 snaps. He's going to come back and get 13 to 15 carries against a bottom 5 rush defense in the entire FBS. So I love Jamari Small at 4,400 this week.
I like that, but now we're stuck with 4,800 for a flex spot. I feel like it's a little disadvantage, but if you've got the value,
4,800. What are we going to roll with here?
I mean, you could spend it all on what is that? The third or fourth Bama wide receiver and hope.
Yeah, you have that. You also have Cade Latu, their tight end, or Cameron Latu at 4,800. That's what we have left, correct? 48.
Yep.
So if we wanted to bring it back with Bama, that's definitely an option. Oh, let's see. But we could also bring back the Louisiana with their tight end, Marshawn Ford. Remember, we're playing Wake Forest. So if we wanted to bring it back there, that's really up to you. I like both. They're both tight ends, and they're both going to be in high total games. Marshawn Ford, I think, is going to have a higher target share because Bama spreads the ball out so much. But Latu has the path towards 2 touchdowns. So you can pick your poison there, man. If it's me personally, I would go with Ford in this lineup, and that would be a little bit different. We could get a 5%.
Or, you know, this is more of a cashy build. So do we come off Matt Corral and pay down and have a little bit better play in that flex?
I mean, I don't mind that at all, but you were the one that brought up the two.
I was just curious. I mean, it's a cash play, right? I mean, the GPP
it is. But Corral is a cash play. It's 9,200, but he put up 59 points last week.
Yeah, it's not really. It's his problem. It's the, you know, we're kind of taking a shot now. We'll have four guys under 4,800 or below, and that just is kind of uncomfortable in a cash play.
It is, and actually, I'm kind of. Now that I'm looking at it, without Mingo, he was his safety blanket, his move the chains guy on third down. So it scares me a little bit off Corral. And because if they can't move the ball on third down, I mean, they're going to struggle against this Bama defense. So let's take that out. Let's take out Corral.
You want to take out all the misplays?
Let's take out Sanders as well. I think Drummond's still a good play.
Okay.
All right. Then let's stay on that game because I think now Alabama's going to control the clock with Brian Robinson at 6,500, their running back. Last year, when they met up, the total was outrageous, but Najee Harris ran for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns against this Ole Miss defense. And at 6,500, I think everybody's going to play the passing options because they see a high total. They think, oh, pass, pass, pass. That's not what Alabama does. They're a very balanced team. They're going to pass. They're going to run. I think Brian Robinson is a smash play at 6,500.
All right, he's got a new news. Should we look at that just to be safe?
He's good. He's good. Don't worry about it.
All right. See that little guy? Don't worry about that little guy. All right.
Yep. Good to go.
All right. Dropping him in the flex. Now we have 61 apiece.
Great. I love it. 61. Let's go to Jordan Whittington for Texas. That's another high total. Texas against TCU. Last week, me and you, we played a Mordecai lineup, and Mordecai went off. I mean, he played great. Roberson had the touchdown. Danny Gray went off. So Jordan Whittington at 5,500 is what you're looking for Texas.
Nope, I'm like, where is this guy? I'm only on the Bama.
You're on the Bama Mississippi game. Yeah. Texas. 5,500. Their big play guy last week was Xavier Worthy at 6,200. He had 5 catches for 3 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Yeah,
he's not going to have 3 touchdowns on 5 catches again. It's not realistic. So his price went up. Whittington stayed low, but Whittington's the target hog in that offense. I see that being another high total. So I think that's a great play for us.
Fair enough.
What do we got left?
6,800 for a super flex.
6,800. All right. Let's see. Super flex. If I was going to play a 6,800 player. We already have my 2 favorite running backs. 69 for Letty Brown. We can't pay for him. I love him though. You know what? Let's take out Drummond. We got to make this work. I love 7,100. Go to Mechie. Go to Mechie instead for Bama.
Yep.
We get their receiver that we want. We have their top running back, so we're set on Bama's side. We don't need to worry about the quarterback because he's 10,000. He's going to spread the ball out. Now what are we left with?
72.
72. Perfect. All right, that gives me – I love Letty Brown, 6,900. He's going to be a safe play against Texas Tech. They were just gashed last week by Bijan Robinson. They gave up 3 rushing touchdowns and 70 points. So Letty Brown's got a path to some scoring there.
Why won't it go in there? There it goes.
Awesome. Position already filled.
No. There was a little internet flip. You're fine.
Gotcha.
Good.
Okay. Looks
all
good.
Right.
Boom.
Looks good. Cash entry has been entered.
Excellent. Man, that is big news though. Mingo. So that's going to switch a lot of ownership. I wonder if people start to come off Corral. This makes this very interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's get on the GPP side. So what are we going to do in the GPP side to make up for Mingo? Where do we go? Where does that move you?
I'm a little bit interested in Casey Thompson. Remember last week, he was the one that put up 70 points for Texas. He was the GPP play that everybody missed on. And I think he could go under owned again with that super high total right above him because people will pay the extra 800 for Corral. But I think Casey Thompson has another path to 40 points this week.
Well, let's slap him in there and start it up.
Let's start there. And then if we're playing him, I mean, we have to think he's going to be throwing the ball. So let's throw in both of his wide receivers in Worthy and Whittington. So 6,200 and 5,500. And double stacking in colleges, it's key. Just like in NFL, NFL is a little bit more spread out. In college football, you have set roles. So you're going to have 2 wide receivers that could see 13 and 10 targets. In the NFL, you see 8, 5, 6, 4. Any given week, it could be different. You're going to have 2 main guys and an offense as high powered as Texas. So it's easy to stack 2 up because you might get one that only scores 10, but the other guy could score 40. And then as an average, you have, 25 points per player.
I like it. All right. So do we run back with TCU with anything here?
If we would play TCU, it would be Zach Evans, their running back, at 72. I don't love it, man. I really don't. But Tay Barber had a good game for them, so we can run that back. He's at 4,800, I believe, as a wide receiver.
I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to.
I don't love it, man, because TCU is another team that spreads the ball out a lot. So they could have 6 different guys score touchdowns.
Well, let's skip it then. Let's move along.
All right, let's get out of there. Tennessee, Missouri. I mean, I love Small at 4,400. I can't get off that running back, that cheap play. It just opens up so much, and he has a path towards 25 points easy in this matchup. So I love that. 25 points at 4,400. You're not going to find a value like that at running back this week.
I like it. All right, he's locked in.
All right. What are you rolling with? We got
let's see. We got Thompson, Small, Worthy, Whittington. We got 25 grand left. So 25. We're looking at about 63, 64 player.
Okay. I do like Bo Melton for Rutgers at 4,900 at wide receiver against the Ohio State. They're going to be, I expect that they would be playing from behind. It's Ohio State, and Ohio State is the 14.5 point favorites. Bo Melton is their target hog. Right now he's 16.1 fantasy points per game.
At 4,900, and he's their main guy. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And a bring back, Big Ten matchup. It's kind of a smash spot for Bo Melton. And he's the type that could take a 40-yard screen to the house, and you're like, oh, there's Ohio State giving up big plays. That's just like them.
I like it. I love anything that lets me root against Ohio State as a Michigan State diehard is okay by me.
Perfect, man. Bo Melton's the guy then.
I actually like it when I'm gambling on this stuff when my Spartans aren't in the mix, so then I don't have to force myself to play them.
Yeah, they're in the night slate. You're good. You don't have to worry about them.
Yep. I might have to play a showdown. Do they do that in college? Can I play a single game showdown in college?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thursday night, I actually played the showdown of Miami game instead of playing the showdown in NFL. I enjoy it more. It's a lot more exciting.
All right. Well, you and I are going to get through this video, and then later today we're going to talk 7:30 p.m. Eastern Michigan State Spartan showdown game.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right, let's keep going here. We got 68-66 remaining. We need a running back, a flex, a super flex.
68-6. All right. Let's go with Michael Mayer from Notre Dame at 5,500. Kevin Austin is drawing the coverage of one of the best cornerbacks in the entire FBS for Cincinnati. That's a top 10 matchup, number 7 against number 9 this week. So I don't expect a ton of scoring, but I expect a lot of checkdowns, and Michael Mayer is that guy at 5,500. He has one game of 30 points, another game of 27. So his upside's there. He's the best tight end in the country right now.
All right, I'm into it. We have a running back slot. We got a super flex. We got 75 each.
75 each. All right. Let's get interesting. Let's play. I just have this weird feeling that Brian Robinson, the running back for Alabama, is going to be super low owned because, like I said, people are going towards his passing options, and he has a path to 4 touchdowns. Like, it's crazy to say, but in an 80-point total, their running backs could just feast.
All right, let's drop him in there. That gives us 86 for our super flex.
86.
That puts almost everyone on the board, my friend.
Shoo. Okay, 86. What are we going to do there? Well, if you want, let's just do it. Let's play CJ Stroud.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that right after I just talked about never wanting to play Ohio State. I knew that's where you were going.
Yeah, and it's not that I love him. It's that if we think Bo Melton is going to, be a factor, that means they're going to be playing from behind. And we played the running back for Ohio State in the other lineup. So if he doesn't hit, that means CJ Stroud is throwing those touchdowns in.
I hate your logic, and it still just hurts my soul to click the button.
If you can't stomach it, Drake London at 8,500 is the highest priced wide receiver. I think that game's going to be kind of slow, but he's been seeing he's been getting 10 to 13 receptions every game. Like he's seeing like 18 targets a game. It's disgusting. So I mean, 8,500, we had enough for him. If you really,
I shipped it, man. I clicked on Stroud and I got it off the screen as fast as I could. So I want to, before we go, I want to build one more lineup, and then I want to get into some parlays and some of your favorite bets.
Sure.
But come on, let's play Chalky Chalk. Let's build a double stack game run back Bama Ole Miss if we can do it. Let's see what it takes. This is like putting like Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Mahomes in a lineup. Let's see what we can do here. See what it plays out as.
Let's start with Bryce Young. I don't have many lineups starting with Bryce Young. Young.
This is like $100,000 lineup dollar, hope and a prayer. It's fine.
Let's play Jalil Billingsley then. He is going to be Alabama's like secondary tight end wide receiver hybrid. He's I believe 3,600. Super.
I was gonna say I'm scrolling.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling.
Find it.
I got you. 3,600 for Billingsley. Backup tight end play. I love it.
Absolutely. Then we went Mechie in the other one, but Jameson Williams is a transfer from Ohio State. He is the deep ball threat. So if he gets behind that Ole Miss defense, he's got a path to a couple deep touchdowns. 7,700.
All right, got him in there. I can root for a guy who left Ohio State. The problem is I think I hate Bama more. So this guy is like double rooting against him personally. That's all right, because I can root against him, right? And if he fails, I'm like, yeah, screw that guy. But if he wins, then it's like, hey, he won me money. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I can get behind that.
Let's go with let's be different here and put in Jirion Ely at 6,100 for Ole Miss. He's going to be probably the beneficiary. Yeah, he's the running back for Ole Miss. 6,100.
Got you. Sometimes I just forget to switch positions.
Because he's the receiving type back. So whenever we get these wide receivers that are random, they just don't play. You're like, okay, well, I expect them to play the entire week. Everybody jumps on that third or fourth wide receiver. If you got a running back that catches passes in college football, that's where the quarterback's going to go. He's going to go to the sure hand. So I actually like Jirion Ely a lot now at 6,100. I think he'd be open to a ton for you.
I just want to shout out to the 2 or 3 people that are watching live right now.
What's
I
up?
see you, and if you take my lineup, I'm gonna be upset at you. No, it's
You're
fine.
welcome to take it though.
Okay,
Not
take it.
just
Go
his,
ahead.
it's ours.
Yeah, if you want to take my lineup that Coach White is hand building for me because I don't even know these people, then go ahead, do it. Do it up. All right. So now we've got. Do we need another piece from Ole Miss, or are we just pushing it too far with that game?
No, we're doing the full stack. Let's
All
do
right.
the full stack.
Lock and load.
So I'll let you choose. I mean, you can play Sanders at 48 and get the discount, or you can pay up for Drummond at 75. We took Drummond out. Let's put Drummond in this one.
Yeah, we took Drummond off the last one, so we might have to pay down just because of pricing, but let's start with it and see what happens. All right, we're at 5,000 a piece left, and we need a running back, a flex, and a super flex. So that Drummond might be too expensive, but let's keep seeing what we do.
I mean, let's just throw Small in there again, man. I mean, he's my smash value of the week at 4,400 running back.
Yeah, gotta love it.
And he opens up a lot for us. I don't see him not getting 14 points. Like, I feel like that's his floor this week. I really do.
I dig it. All right, flex, super flex. We only have 53 apiece.
53?
Yep, it's getting tough.
All right. Well, let's
Kiki Chisholm is such a great name. I don't know if he's a good player, but it's such a great name.
And yeah, he is a pretty good player. He's their reception guy from Missouri, and they throw quite a bit. But I'm gonna take a stab at Mario Williams for Oklahoma against Kansas State.
Okay, where's he at? I see
5,000 for Oklahoma.
Yep.
He is a freshman, but he is he's always the one that's getting these deep ball opportunities. So Rattler loves to throw it deep. And last week I said that about Worthy at 4,800. He had the 3 touchdowns for Casey Thompson, and we neglected to put him in one of our GPP lineups. So I'm not going to make that mistake again.
Ouch. All right, 5,700 for the super flex.
57. What does that give us? 1 second. I'm sorry. Got to get my whole screen up. All right. 57. Let's hit up. Don't love that range. So my 2 favorite plays there are going to be Michael Mayer and Whittington from Texas. We've already played those 2, but there's a reason we played those 2. It's because they're the best in that price range. So if you want a GPP play, it's going to be Mayer. If you want a little bit more safety, it's going to be Whittington. But they're both going to be low owned, so sub 10%.
I don't want no safety. I want the highest ceiling.
Well, yeah. So I would go Whittington then. I mean, he's got the path towards the most yards, but Mayer's got the path towards the most touchdowns. So it's splitting hairs, but it really is. That's why they're the same exact price.
Right. All right, I dig it. All right, we're going to build one more lineup off air before I let you go today, but we are going to talk. You told me you had a parlay ready for me today.
I do. Yes. Give me a second. Let me pull it up on my phone. All right. I don't know if these numbers are still going to be there. I made this at the beginning of the week for you. So we're going to start with Arkansas at 18.5 against Georgia. So we're going to take the points on all these games. I know you can't parlay over-unders with points, so we're going to do the points.
All right, hold on. Let me find my notepad. Let me find my notepad.
Ooh,
actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up FanDuel Sportsbook, and I'm just going to plug them in.
Yeah, plug it in. So what I'm looking at, actually, I think on Sportsbook, it got moved down to 16.5. So, I mean, they're 2 points difference at the end of the week. So they're on the same plane as I am. They think Arkansas is going to keep it a lot closer against Georgia, which I do too. They're both good defense. It's just going to be a slow game.
So I've got Arkansas at plus 16.5 right now.
All right. Last week, I told you Boise State was going to figure it out on defense and shut down a chalky Utah State. They did. They only gave it 10 points. They're going to do it again this week against Nevada. I have them at minus 5.5. I think they win that game by 10 to 17 points.
It is down to minus 4.5 for Boise State.
All right. Well, still take it. That's great. That's even better.
So I got Boise State at minus 4.5. I've got Arkansas at plus 16.5. What am I bringing it home with?
We're going to take South Carolina against Troy at minus 6.5.
Got to find that game. There's too many games.
There are so many games. Yeah, it's 3:30 slots. Right now, of course, it moved to 7. You might be able to find it at 6.5 somewhere.
I can't even find the game.
It's bottom barrel. Troy against South Carolina. It's not. I'm not going to be watching it, but I just feel like
I'm not sure it's on FanDuel's slate. So let me keep looking.
That's surprising. It's only a 7-point difference. That's crazy.
Sometimes they leave games out. They got Holy Cross and Harvard Crimson.
See, like, how are you going to have that game and not South Carolina playing against Troy?
I'm still looking.
It's all right.
I'm still looking. Oh, there it is. I found it.
There it is.
All right.
Perfect.
South Carolina is favored 6.5 at the moment.
All right. After that, we're going to take Texas -3.5 against TCU. We played all those Casey Thompson lineups.
Oh, man. We're getting wild. This is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
What is it? Yeah. Let's see. Yep. Texas 4.5. Is that what it's at? Or is
Still
it
at 4.5? Still at 4.5.
Okay. I had it at 3.5, but 4.5 works. I still think they're going to win by at least a touchdown in this matchup. We're going to take Tennessee, the points at +3 against Missouri, at Missouri. Like I said, I think they're going to run the ball over them. They're going to have no issue moving it against Missouri.
There's so many games.
And as I said that, the number just dropped to +2.5. So hopefully you just got it at 3.5.
I still can't find it.
Tennessee, Missouri.
It's
Come on, man. It's that big gaudy orange tee.
There's just so many. There's so many. I got Tennessee Tech at Southeast Missouri State.
That's not it.
I didn't even know those teams existed. Don't mind me. Nope.
You're gonna get there, man.
There's
looking. So many games. That is the hardest thing about college.
Looking.
So many games.
Still looking.
But that's what gives us an easy path to 6 parlays and like being confident about the 6 plays you're gonna make.
Why isn't there a search function?
There definitely should be, because there's, I think, 36 total games today being played.
No, I've been scrolling so long I've forgotten what game we're looking for.
No, there's more than that. Looks like there's about 56.
What game am I looking for again?
Tennessee at Missouri.
This is great radio.
Like, go to if you can search SEC or something, they're both SEC teams.
No.
This should be right in front of your face, man.
Yeah, it should be. You would think. Like I said, Tennessee Tech versus Missouri State. I got that one.
Once you get this, you only have one more remaining. And everybody,
well, what's the other one? So I can just find that one first, and then I'll find this other one later. There it is. Tennessee at Missouri. I found it.
Nailed it.
All right. So we like Missouri at -2.5.
No, we like Tennessee.
+2.5. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. I'm following along now. All right.
All right. And then we're going to take LSU at 3.5, -3.5, at home against Auburn.
All right. LSU should be a featured one, shouldn't it?
Yes, it should be there, man.
There it is.
But it's a night game, so you might have to scroll for it.
I found it. So we've got a +4,600 on this bet.
Nice. That's not bad.
So $10 turns into 460.
Dang, that's a great parlay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna drop it in there. We're gonna see what happens.
I love it, man.
Wish us luck. All right. Any parting nuggets, my friend?
That's all. Trust the process, my friends.
All right. I appreciate it. I'm Johnny Danger with Coach White. This was College Football DFS Mornings. And hopefully we'll see his article up on the webpage of drroto.com. Check it out for all of our NFL stuff coming up. And we'll catch you all next week.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.